In the year 1940, the patriarch Samuel Alvarez was a tangible, documented presence at 314 South San Jacinto Street in San Antonio. He was the head of the household and a documented pensioner for the Southern Pacific Railroad. Decades earlier, he navigated his family across the border to escape the Mexican Revolution, establishing a migratory pipeline that his descendants would follow for the next century. But by 1969, a gap appears in the record. If you look for Samuel's death certificate in the Bexar County archives, he isn't there. He disappears from the local history he helped build. The 1947 travel records for his family omit his name entirely, and his presence survives only in hand-etched initials, SSA, carved into the objects he left behind. Samuel operated at the center of this family for 50 years, yet the official record suggests his life stopped at the San Antonio city limits. Clerical habits began eroding his footprint as early as 1950. In that year's census, an enumerator recorded the entire family under the truncated, arbitrary surname Alvar. The corporate infrastructure of the railroad further displaced his history. When workers needed intensive care, they were often routed to the Southern Pacific Hospital in Houston, meaning Samuel's final medical and death records were filed in Harris County rather than at home. An institution-first filing system prioritized corporate medical routing over personal geography, effectively scrubbing his final years from the local archives. This lack of local data created a vacuum that modern algorithms tried to fill. Automated genealogy tools scraped the missing pieces and merged Samuel with a completely different man. The software incorrectly identified him as an Amarillo resident who migrated from New Mexico, thousands of miles from the family's path. Soon after, a false 1911 Guanajuato marriage record appeared, having no biological connection to the San Antonio family. To find the real Samuel, researchers had to look past the machine-generated suggestions and find a metric that cannot be mistyped. When paper trails are corrupted by clerical errors, human DNA remains the only evidence capable of reclaiming a lost identity. The investigation turned to DNA triangulation, first testing descendants to see if any biological link existed to the Amarillo family. The results showed zero shared DNA, mathematically proving the Amarillo Samuel was a total stranger. On chromosome 9, researchers isolated a 58 megabase pair block shared by Samuel's true descendants, the Bernal Garcia signature from Hualahuises and Montemorelos. The paternal line carries haplogroup EV13, a permanent biological voucher linking this Alvarez branch to San Antonio's Arguello family. These genetic signatures pull the family tree out of the Guanajuato error and ground the lineage in its true biological origins in Nuevo León. With the digital ghosts exorcised, investigators searched for a physical anchor to prove where Samuel spent his final years. In the Cameron County official public records, they found a single folder filed under the year 1965. It was a mechanics lien executed with the Harlingen Lumber Company on October 12, 1965. Samuel signed a contract for $450 in property improvements to be paid in $25 monthly installments. The document specifically notes his legal status at the time, recording Samuel as a single man living in Harlingen. This contract places him firmly in the Rio Grande Valley just 4 years before his death, providing the geographic anchor that the San Antonio archives had lost. Samuel Alvarez was a man who worked the railroads and owned property, yet his identity was nearly erased by the very institutions he interacted with. Today, digital algorithms can compound those mid-century clerical errors, rewriting family histories with the click of a button. A legacy is preserved at the intersection of biological truth and the physical artifacts left in its wake.